I'll leave a timestamp in the description if you want to skip straight to the news, but I actually want to start the video apologizing for being gone for a whole month. The last video I uploaded referenced Jack's films and his critique of Fillion. In the video that I made, I didn't know who he was, and that entire segment was just me trying to defend a VTuber from a non-VTuber, and I didn't put much thought or research into the situation beyond that. And in that segment, I called him weird for making so many videos about Sniper Wolf, a creator I also know nothing about, and I made the offhand joke that I was going to make sure to credit my sources on the video, because if I didn't, Jack's films would probably come to my house. What I didn't know is that the entire internet is actually on Jack's film's side, and apparently after making multiple videos criticizing Sniper Wolf for her allegedly shitty reaction videos, I don't know, I have no desire to watch them, she showed up at his house. So I made fun of someone who was apparently a sympathetic figure in the community and accidentally referenced him being doxxed, and it made me come off as a callous asshole. And so for the complete and total lack of research and ill-informed opinion, I got my ass kicked so thoroughly in the comments section that I turned comments off and I had to close my DMs on Twitter. So between personally needing some distance between myself and YouTube for a little bit, and also just being busy with personal stuff in my own life for the past month, I haven't really been keeping up with VTuber news. So I just wanted to apologize for being gone for a whole month and explain what the reason was. I did pick a bad time to come back because November and December are coming up. It's Christmas season, things are gonna get crazy, so I don't have a ton of time, so videos are still going to be relatively erratic. That being said, let's get back into it. First things first, huge shout out to Kagi Vids for keeping me updated on what's going on in the VTuber community while I've been busy doing other things and putting distance between myself and YouTube. So the first thing I wanted to cover is a little bit of an old story. It's November 15th at time of recording. This post was made on the 12th, but I still wanted to cover it because it caught my eye. Rima Evenstar says here, things are getting scary lately. According to this Twitter user, a bomb threat against Hololive Korone's house. The threat was made by a Korone fan account named Korone Bot. This fan account is being warned by Hololive because he significantly damaged the reputation of the company, yet he claims he refuses to stop posting Korone content. Now, a random internet troll calling in a bullshit bomb threat that they had no intention of going through with might not be too crazy for some of the more jaded members of the audience, but I do want to go through what the messages he sent actually were, because they seem worryingly unhinged. So the first message this psychopath sent says, the only choice left is for your child to either be killed by the darkness or assaulted in a manner that will lead to her death. The outcome won't change even if you try to back out or ask for help now. It's already decided. The police were unhelpful as they just stood by without doing anything. On November 11th, the VTuber company, the virtual entertainment company building will be bombed. Tell your performance that it's going to be killed. And I can't help but have my mind race at what would lead them to say such a thing. What do they mean their only choice left is to kill Korone? Like, I'm not a huge follower of Japanese VTubers on account of the language barrier. What the fuck do you mean the only choice left? What happened? If anyone has an update on this story or knows what his motivation would be, I would be very interested to know, because I feel like there's a lot of missing context here. And this isn't their only bomb threat, as they posted again on November 13th, I'll kill both you and your child. I'll also kill the current prime minister, followed by saying, I'll kill you for then the council chairman at the Hololive office. Tomorrow, I'll bomb Korone's house. What an absolute psychopath. And apparently this absolute schizo troll has no sympathy for the sense of fear they likely imposed on members of the Hololive Corporation or Korone herself, as they go on and say, I ended up getting sued by Cover Corporation, the company that runs Hololive. The reason for the lawsuit? They say it's because I, quote, seriously damaged the reputation of one of their talents. But well, I'm not going to stop the Korone quote bot or anything, lol. Also, my mom's crying really hard, which is kinda funny. It's so over the top. I wish he'd follow my dad's example. He's not crying at all. Now, he did make a couple of update tweets afterwards that are pretty obvious trolls, like pretty blatantly, obviously unserious posts now that he knows he's getting a lot of attention on the account, where he goes on to say, the president of Cover Corporation and Miss Korone came to my house to apologize, which obviously no they fucking didn't. The president said, I was moved by your tweets, we will withdraw the lawsuit. and from now on, Cover will not sue over slander. He bowed down, completely naked. Miss Korone was cleaning the president's anus. Her mouth turned brown. I'm glad we were able to settle things amicably. Which, this would be a funny tweet if I didn't absolutely despise this man. But it's just further proof that he doesn't care. And all he cares about is being irreverent. He also goes on to say the police don't get involved in civil matters, so he hasn't been arrested. Now, neither of the accounts that I've referenced have posted an update since then, so I'm left to assume that's the end of the story for now. The next thing I want to talk about isn't necessarily VTuber related, but it is Twitch related, and that's that the Kick co-founder wants to buy out Twitch after IShowSpeed and rejected making a deal with Kick. And before I even get into the article, I want to state very clearly, I don't think Kick has anywhere near enough money to buy Twitch. It's also worth mentioning that both Kick and Twitch pay for Amazon servers to run their streaming platform, and Twitch is likely getting some sort of discount for being owned by Amazon. So even if they had equal user bases, the idea that Kick could afford to buy out Twitch is absurd. Now, according to Kai himself, he claims that Kick didn't offer him $60 million, instead saying they offered him a 3-year deal but kept raising the price up every time he declined, but confirms it was not $60 million for just Mafiathon. So it sounds like there was some pretty aggressive negotiating going on behind the scenes that we might not know all the details of. But Kick still seems relatively serious about their objectives. As they say real here, the goal is the same: we will either beat Twitch or buy them out. I don't suspect that's likely, but if they manage to be a serious competitor in the live streaming space and get an equivalent or greater follower base than Twitch, I will be very impressed, and I will happily eat my words because I want competition in this space. And in good news, we have VShojo Japan announcing that they're going to be releasing a wave of 4 talents. Now, obviously, I'd be a lot more excited if they were English-speaking talents, but a new wave is still gonna be huge. They've been so busy picking up talents one by one and garnering the reputation as being the retirement home of former corpos that it's nice to see them actually get involved in producing a proper wave. Whether they are former corpos, former indies, or even brand new talents that they've managed to scout, I wish them nothing but the best, and I hope this branch succeeds, because if this wave succeeds, then that means it's going to be highly likely that VShojo will release a English wave soon after, and that I would definitely be excited for. And the last thing that I want to cover is Cover. I can't believe I haven't thought of that joke until now. I'm hilarious. Anyway, Cover has released a statement about defamation, impersonation, and harassment. In this announcement, they say that they have received a number of reports that multiple of their talents are being impersonated, which includes the spreading of false information. And they also say that this impersonation has led to malicious language and behavior, which includes billing functions on all platforms, which sounds to me like there was someone scamming people out of money by impersonating Hololive talents. They go on to talk about how there is abusive behavior, harassment, slander, defamation, threats, and, quote, persistent stalking primarily on social media. Now, although there's no language directly referencing it, it's worth mentioning that this announcement comes only a couple days after they received those bomb threats aimed towards them and Korone. So it's entirely possible that that example we talked about previously is just one of many bad actors who, for reasons I don't understand, seem to love making life, being a VTuber, a living hell. They go on to state that they're going to handle these things with their lawyers through both civil and criminal channels. They're going to keep everything on the hush-hush to keep the privacy of their talent safe, but they will post the outcomes of any of their legal measures that they're currently taking. And unsurprisingly, the community is fully on Hololive's side. I wish I had more information to tell you, and I wish I could get my hands on those details, but I understand that for privacy reasons, that's not exactly something that Cover is willing to talk about in great detail. But that's all I had to say on the matter. Hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you thought of everything we discussed in the comment section down below. Bye guys!